all gods and mythical creatures were actually alien.
Our ancestors misinterpreted extraterrestrials as gods because that was the only way that they could explain away what they witnessed.
You have also heard that aliens and humans have boinked. And of course, how could we forget? Bigfoot's an alien too!
Are we really the result of evolution? Or might the truth be that the real alien hybrid is not Bigfoot, but man?
These are all strange ideas, of course. But surely Mr. Tsoukalos and his wonderful show, Ancient Aliens, couldn't get any weirder, right? Well, if that's what you thought, then I'm really sorry to break this news to you, but no, Ancient Aliens can get weirder, because just as it so happens, I have news for you. All insects are aliens, and all aliens actually are insects too.
But might these strange creatures that have inhabited Earth for hundreds of millions of years provide a link to extraterrestrial beings?
You heard that right. That praying mantis you saw earlier on a stick, actually from Mars. A ladybug? No. I disagree. It's actually a Venus bug. Anyway, Ancient Aliens has, it's been a wonderful little treat for me. Oh, how I just love listening to the strange little things these men come up with. But, just as a quick reminder for people who haven't heard of the show, they might be under the age of 35 or divorced. Well, I should say not divorced, but oh well. It's a wonderful little show where we discover the truth that every event in history, every religion, every myth, and literally just everything in human history, actually it was caused by or influenced by aliens. George O. Washington, actually he was visited by aliens. They told him, Mr. Washington, you need to make America. But if we're going to talk about ancient aliens, there's no better place to start than ancient Egypt, which, as we all know, is apparently Las Vegas, but for aliens, because they can't stop coming there. Where, in Egypt, we soon meet our wonderful friend. You know him, you love him, the scarab. Also known as the dung beetle, but today, we'll stick with the scarab. The scarab's cool. Scarab's a cool word. And, you know what? I'll admit it. They bring up a very fun fact.
And is the only insect on Earth known to navigate by following the light of the Milky Way galaxy.
I wasn't aware that scarabs actually use the Milky Way to navigate around. That's genuinely really cool. And then after that, they bring up how the beloved scarab plays a major role in the cultural practices and religion of ancient Egypt. This is really cool stuff. I love how they made this massive shift into talking about really just interesting stuff about ancient cultures. Surely they're not going to fuck it up.
One has to wonder whether or not these beings actually existed, because the ancient Egyptians were incredibly proud in carving their history into countless of walls. And according to the ancient astronaut theory, we all came about through a deliberate mutation of our genes.
So, before we dive further into this episode, we should probably get this out of the way. Get a shot glass, get whatever hard alcohol you desire, and take a shot every time you hear the word ancient astronaut theorists believe, ponder, whatever, just ancient astronaut theorists. Because, if you do that, well, have fun in the hospital, I guess, because you might have alcohol poisoning. But, yeah, so they bring up the Egyptian god Khepri, and boy, howdy, he's actually a pilot and an alien.
Ancient astronaut theorists suggest that the representation of Khepri as a scarab, and sometimes as a human with a scarab head, may have been inspired by actual contact the Egyptians had with an otherworldly being.
Cause the metaphor for a ship going across the sky actually is real. It's actually real. It can't be a metaphor for how they interpret anything, how they would interpret the sun going across the sky. Nope. It's real. It's real. Also, the scarab's a device now, too. Yeah.
Beetle was some kind of device, not an insect, but a device that actually allows travel from one place to another.
Scarab? More like a device. But I don't know. These guys just notice so many things. Like they're so perceptive of things people just wouldn't know about. Like, as I mentioned in the last video, it's gonna be like over here, wherever I decided to put the button and click the last video, that's gonna be there. You can check it out and all that. They do this fun thing in every episode. You'll see it as the episode goes on. It's where they present every fact, every idea, every theory they have as just, a straight up fact. Any theory, any idea? No, actually, this is exactly what happened, according to these ancient astronaut theorists. Yeah, and Khepri, who of course is a scarab, and also an alien, of course, he told the Egyptians the idea of resurrection too, after he was piloting around Ra. This is all true because I took a hit of Whippets earlier, and it put enough holes in my brain for me to understand this. But next, they bring up this cool bug. This bug's cool. I give it a solid bug out of 10. It's a bug, classic bug shape, classic bug thing. Actually, something really cool about this bug is it developed biological gears, like literal gears. That's cool.
Record the movement of a plant-hopping insect called Issus. Examining the footage, they make a shocking discovery. The movement of the Issus is powered by mechanical gears.
Yeah, this is like really cool and interesting. I wish they delved into it more before going into how this actually means that they're all aliens. But hey, I'm not judging on any cool bug. I'll just have to ignore the alien parts. But oh well. But we got to talk about the ants now. The show brings up the myrmidons of ancient Greece and other such myths of ant-people hybrids from like the Hopi and other Southwest Native American tribes.
Humans and insects in order to create this army of ant people. you're dealing with an extremely advanced technology that really understands how to use genetic manipulation to create new species.
Is it possible that the myrmidons depicted in the ancient Greek stories were actually some type of ant and human hybrid, manufactured by an alien being? Ancient astronaut theorists claim further evidence that ants may have a connection to extraterrestrials can be found in stories throughout numerous cultures. In the
talking about the myrmidons, they're like, whoa! These guys are like ants! And, because they're like ants, they're from, in the stories they're from ants, this has to be literal. This has to be exactly what happened. You know, they're ant-alien human hybrids. Okay. I don't know. It's much easier to suggest that the authors of ancient Greek stories saw how ant societies worked, you know, just by looking at them, seeing how ants do things, and then we're like, As a philosopher, these ants seem to be very similar to us. Perchance we should have a group in my story that are, you know, built off of ants, because ant society is similar to human society. Why not? Like, you know, I just... No. These guys are right. These ancient astronaut theorists, they're right. It has to be fucking aliens. This is the obvious answer. I'm very intelligent, as you could tell. And, you know, that's really just like the theme for the ant section. They talk about the Hopi, and they do basically...
The ant people of the Native American stories don't just behave like ants. They resemble them as well.
They have spindly arms, they have antennae, they have elongated skulls.
No, the ant people coming from underground aren't like references like how society formed or anything, like how it sprung up out of nowhere. No, as we will soon learn, it's all literal. So, besides talking about ants, they go into praying mantises, and everything they say about praying mantises is effectively the same thing that they said about ants, but, I don't feel like talking about the praying mantises, because all they do is they bring up a person who was allegedly abducted by ants, and, you know, just being honest, I don't care enough. I don't care. That did not interest me enough while I was watching the episode. Do you guys hear that? I think, not caring about the praying mantises might have summoned a locust plague to ruin my crop. I shouldn't have done that. But this is a great segue to my next section, which is about locusts. So, you gotta talk about the locusts, because the Bible. And the ancient astronaut theorists, guys, they suggest that locusts are, because they attack crops and stuff, they're actually bioweapons.
Have some type of ability to sting people with a scorpion-like sting. Now, locusts are known not to have any type of way of harming people, so these locusts were special in origin.
These locusts only sought out humans who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads. And it makes you wonder if these locusts are in fact some kind of an advanced extraterrestrial technology that was sent to seek specific human beings.
Yeah. Sure. But the main reason they bring up locusts is so that they can somehow mention the Bible. You can't have an Ancient Aliens episode without the Bible, really. But they're the locusts of Revelations, and I'm not an evangelical Christian, so my interpretation of Revelations might be different from what they were suggesting. But in the book of Revelations, it's about stuff that hasn't happened yet. So the man-eating locusts, they haven't happened yet. You can't use this in your theory if it's about something that hasn't happened yet. But perhaps we've been wrong about the insect. Because, you know, in DARPA government, big government, they've made tiny drones. And aliens came before us, and they've probably had tiny drones too. Noticing something here. Insects are quite tiny. It must be! Insects are drones! They're alien drones!
If an extraterrestrial was fighting a war, a weapon that you could use would be mechanical devices that basically were like little nanotechnology that would attack certain very specific targets. There are, in fact, such weapons in use today.
This explains everything! This is why we have fears of bugs, because they're robots! They're robots! And we fear bugs because we fear robots, and we know bugs aren't human because cavemen knew that for some reason.
Is it possible that the biblical stories of locusts sent by God are really accounts of alien technology in the ancient past? And could this be the reason why insects are feared by humans even to this day?
From this point, I'm very sure you can tell, this episode has been going extremely off the rails. So things are about to go even further off the rails, and we're about to be swimming in the deep end without floaties. So I'll try to explain everything that they go off of going forward. We gotta start at Area 51. We can't have aliens without Area 51. And as usually happens, we discover that there's actually an alien that's alive in Area 51. He chills there. His name's J-Rod. He's cool, I guess. And J-Rod informs us, as he kindly does, that in the near future, there's a big catastrophe affecting humanity.
This insectoid alien, J-Rod, said that he had actually come from our future. And that at some time in the near future to us, there is a catastrophe on this planet.
This causes humanity to split in two. One half stays up here, as we tend to do, but the other half go underground. Kind of like the Lemurians, if you know anything about Mount Shasta. This is not in the episode, but it is also true. Just like how the Yakubians are from the island of Patmos. Over time, these underground humans would evolve to become more insect-like, since, you know, they're underground and bugs live underground. This, of course, you might notice, this is very similar to the Hopi tribe story that I told you about earlier. Noticing. Wait. This is because future insect-human hybrids actually went back in time.
And you have to wonder if perhaps J-Rod is actually an insectoid human being from our own future.
And they did everything. I lied. This is not ancient aliens. This is ancient future human insect hybrids going back in time to do history because they were bored. And how do we know that this could happen? Have you heard of CRISPR? Have you heard of gene editing? Yeah, that's basically why. Yeah. Disagree with me? Suck on an egg. But, yeah. That's pretty much it. I guess we're all very enlightened now. And what have we learned today? we have learned that we need to kill every single bug because they're an alien robot or alien genetic hybrid or alien bioweapon. So, yeah, kill every bug. We've also learned that soon there's going to be a calamity happening, so get a shovel and start digging so you can hide from it. Okay. That's cool. And, yeah. I don't really have like a moral or anything for this. It's kind of that was a fun ride we all went on. But if you really like this episode, I know it's kind of me rambling about it, hit like, subscribe, and check out some of the other videos I've made. But without further ado, that's really all I have left for you guys, so I'll see you all next time.